Afternoon all, how are we all doing? How is everybody? Afternoon Neo, Amy, John, Fletch, Burke, Christian, how we doing? That was good this morning, wasn't it? I have a target of 2R and 5R. 5R is hard to hit because it's normally beyond ADR, but today got it. Didn't get it because I put a trading stop on it, but it would have got it if I hadn't put a trading stop on it. So beautiful ORB, short failed, long, straight up, done. 2 grand banked. Very nice. Hopefully the US will repeat that this afternoon. Would be nice, but the US indices, as you can see, have moved a long way already. So the Dow is at ADR, the S&P is at ADR, the NASDAQ's not far from ADR. So we've had a big move already on the US indices today. So we'll see. I'm not quite sure if we're going to get much movement out of them. We might undo the whole thing, which would be fantastic, but market's very stretched at the open today. Afternoon, Virginia, Crum. Right. There's a few ADRs to look at while we're waiting for the market to open. Just going to quickly recap the morning's news. So nothing particularly exciting this morning on the news. We had obviously the CPI figures this morning and the Euro flash estimates, everything negative basically there. So, but the market's not really done anything off the back of it. We've had the Canadian GDP figures come out as flat, very close to recession. Obviously, anything that comes out negative on GDP means recession. So that's not good. They were forecasting an increase. We got a decrease. So that is negative because we were expecting the GDP figures to come out slightly better than last time. They actually came out slightly worse, which means their economy's contracted slightly. Core PCE came out as flat on the US. That's it for the news this afternoon. We got Michigan and Business Outlook, which doesn't do anything really. Other than that, no other news this morning. That's the GDP and the PCE. So yeah, no other news really to look at there. So we've had a few ADRs today, mainly Canadian, as you can see, the CAD Swiss, Euro CAD, Pound CAD, and New Zealand CAD. Obviously, Canadian dollar has dropped off the back of those figures. So we've had a bit of a rally against the Canadian dollar. Let's look at something else. Let's look at the Aussie dollar CAD, for example. So big rally, obviously, against the Canadian dollar. CAD yen come down. Yeah, so we got those ADRs to look at. So let's quickly whiz through these. CAD Swiss just tapped ADR, came straight off ADR, look, pretty much to the pip. It was to the pip. Reverse alert hasn't gone in yet, though. So that's your reversal alert on 5 minutes. So lovely 3-bar reversal going in at the moment. Big push down, big rejection, pause candle. Not so much of a pause candle, it's more bearish, but if we do get a bull candle off the back of that, good rejection. So reversal alert there, be a good long entry. Euro CAD is the other one. ADR to the upside, that is a beautiful 3-bar reversal. Push, pause, pull. Yeah. So that's about to give you a reversal alert as well. So CAD Swiss and Euro CAD both about to give you a reversal alert on M5. The other CADs, Pound CAD, that's a bit difficult to get into. So we got to ADR, started to roll at ADR, and then rallied off the back of the other news. It is stalling up here at the moment, but your reversal alert's not going to be until all the way down there. So you'd need to get in on price action on that. Break of that low would be a good entry. Pound US dollar, New Zealand dollar CAD. That, when it loads, is up above ADR. Again, not going to be able to get into that very easily, miles away. So again, break of that low would be a good short entry. And the others which are not related to the Canadian dollar, you've got the Pound US dollar. That's got a nice tight entry reversal alert is going to be there. And your euro US dollar, which is pretty much the same thing. So those two are obviously based off the US dollar movement. So the US dollar's dropped off the back of the PCE. So that's why we've had a big rally in the US indices. So those are your ADRs. There's quite a few of those. They're all really good opportunities for reversions today. Could get nice V-shaped recoveries off of all of these moves. Either way, quick pullbacks, but try and pick the ones that you're going to get a decent reversal alert on. So those are the ADRs. RSIs, there's nothing to look at. It's going to be a quick session today because there's nothing to look at, basically. Pretty much the same as this morning. Pound Swiss, we're extended on the hourly to the upside. That's just rolled over. So your 5-minute reversal alert has just triggered on that one. So look for a reversal there. Apart from that, nothing to look at. There you go. End of day. Pound Swiss. Oh yeah, sorry. I was going to say, I was looking at that thinking that isn't a ADR yet because it's an RSI. There you go. So that's all of it. There's nothing else to look at. The session today, I was expecting a little bit more. I was hoping for a little bit more today. It's the last day of the month, the last day of the quarter. We've still got New York to go. If New York wants to rally and continue all these moves, we could get some big 200 ADR days, 200 ADR moves in today. But quite often, the last day of the month is either a massive move or pretty dead. So it looks pretty normal to me at the moment, but we'll see. So looking at the US indices, obviously everything has had a big rally today. So it's very difficult to trade the open when you've had an awful lot of movement off of news before the open. Quite often the market is exhausted by the time it gets to the open, and therefore it doesn't really tend to do much, which can be quite dangerous because you get whipsaw. But we'll see. The other option is obviously they just undo the move that we've had and put in sort of an A-shaped recovery. So you get a quick undoing. But this market seems very strong today. The DAX has not looked back. So we had that initial break. We had an accumulation for a few hours and it's rallying again. So does look like a strong market today, but we'll see. We've got 2 minutes to the open or one and a bit. We'll see where we go. Afternoon, Brian. How did your Euro US dollar do today? I'm pretty sure it did very well because we've got an ADR on Euro US dollar. No, it didn't. Don't know where the bottom of that wick is, but so fake move out the top, fake move out the bottom, possible stop out, flip short, just about get 1R, go back the other way. I would imagine that's been a bit of a choppy ride today. Can't win them all. Decent move to the upside though, and it is still going. This US dollar is still dropping, so you know there is a good chance of possibly coming up 150 ADR and testing that high today. We'll see. Depends whether the market wants to undo this lot, or you know, this is a big reaction, big negative reaction to those PCE figures. Again, as expected, but the market has absolutely tanked on it. So we're getting a lot of that on the US at the minute. Right, let's see what happens with these opening range breaks today. So your 50, they're very tight ranges. I'm not sure this version of the EA is actually going to get these on because they're really tight. Let's see. Okay, bit of volatility coming in. Got 10 seconds to the open. So your pre-market ranges are very tight. This needs to either go or you're likely to get whipsawed today. Short on the Dow. The other two ranges are too tight. But obviously, if you're taking them, you are short as well. So everything's broken short pre-market. Obviously, short on the Dow. EU ORB today, one stop, short stopped out, re-enter, short 1R. in it long at 2R. Good job. So it did work today. That's good. Okay, so we are short at the open. DAX is coming down short as well. Afternoon, Steve. What did you miss? Not a lot. A bit of a broad question. You've been in the first 10 minutes of the stream, the entire afternoon, the entire morning so far. Could be anything. Whipsawing on the indices at the open by the looks of things. We'll see. The Dow's just trying, they're all trying to push down, but finding a lot of rejection, as I would expect, because obviously the market's been pushing hard all day. So trying to go short on this is probably not the best idea. Basically standing in front of a moving train. Crash and boom. Oh, best traded with position trading. Someone's just put in the group. Synthetic indices are not best traded anywhere. They are made by your broker to steal your money. First 10 minutes, the most important part of the day. So basically news. US dollars crashed off the back of the PCE figures, which came out as expected. And the Canadian dollar has had negative GDP, so that's come down as well. Apart from that, not a lot. Indices made lots of money on the DAX this morning. Not sure. These US indices, they do look like they want to push. So it's going to be hard work pushing. The S&P is up at ADR. The Dow is also at ADR. It's going to be very hard to push long today. Market is going to be very exhausted. We'll see. So NASDAQ, you are whipsawed. S&P, you are long. Dow, just thinking about it. Long on the Dow as well, so hedged on the Dow. Exactly the same as this morning on the DAX. Got hedged on the DAX, stopped out on the short, took the long profit. Same with the Dow, so guaranteed a loss in one direction at least. Blimey, this market's got some legs today, hasn't it? Okay, so Dow, let's have a quick look at upside targets on the Dow. Uh, 200 ADR is your next stop. So potentially this propulsion gap at 125 ADR that we're trading into now, which is where we accumulated and broke to make that rally. That is potentially where, if we're going to put in a lower high, we're going to see sellers step in. If not, we're going to retest that high at 200 ADR. So another ADR on top of the ADR we've already pushed today. That's going to be tough. We've done it. Did it there. That was news, though. Doing it without news is tall order. Never know. I wouldn't get too excited, though. This looks like a whipsaw to me. I think we're going to go into rotation today. That explains gold, then. Yeah, gold will have flown today. That's gold today. So it rallies on gold. Only up into resistance, though. Oh, look at the Dow. Total whipsaw. So there's your 5-minute open. Tricky. So gold's pulling back. We're having a rally on the US at the minute, by the looks of things. Well, not a rally, but US dollar has stopped being weak, put it that way. Okay, so 5-minute opening range on the NASDAQ is there. So going to take a 5-minute ORB on the NAS. Dow is Dow's completely confused as to what it wants to do today. S&P, your 5-minute ORB is there. That's quite a tight range. I assume that one hasn't been placed because it's too tight. S&P, pre-market skipped. Oh yeah, US 500. Opening range skipped. Opening range is over the maximum of 70. So 73. It's over the maximum range for the S&P. So that is too big. Yeah, that's a quarter of an ADR. Doesn't look big, does it? Look, that looks like a very small candle there compared to some of the candles we've had today. But that is actually 7 points. 9 points is a quarter of an ADR. So that's done a quarter of its average daily range in one opening candle there. So the EA has decided to skip that today because the range is too big. The other two, though, as you can see, are in play. So we're long on the NASDAQ. I really don't want to go long. It's like, that's where the momentum's going. So I think it's going to struggle to go long today, but we'll see. We will see. Afternoon, Stefan. Going to calculate wins and losses for the month over the weekend, see where it stands. Half off at 2, break even in place. Best way to do that, Brian, is just to go into your P&L, export the whole lot as a report, and import that into Quant Analyzer. Quant Analyzer, then you can break it down per instrument. You can see instantly what your profit is. So if you just get a report out. Why did that not save? There we go, it's saving now. NASDAQ's struggling at these highs. I think this is going to be a real struggle today. Okay, if you load it all in, and then what you can do is just go, I just want to see my euro US dollar. There you go. And that instantly just gives you what you've done on euro US dollar for this month. Good day. Quant Analyzer is very, very, very useful for analyzing your performance. Right, so this Dow is absolutely stuck. So the Dow Jones, we are trading at the moment inside bar, and quite a tight inside bar based on the 5-minute. The NASDAQ, we have just about broken that high and putting in a higher low. So it's still bullish, but there is absolutely no direction on these markets today at all. A lot of volume coming in. You can see it ticking up and down quite fast. So there is a lot of volume coming into the market, but the volume is just constant buy and sell. It's totally equal. There is no bias yet today. So we'll let those play out for a little bit and see where they get to. Right. So, yeah, look, there you go. You see it a bit clearer there on the Dow. So that's your inside bar. We're still inside the 15-minute opening range, so it's not going anywhere. So I've covered all the RSIs and the ADRs. There's nothing much to look at. The yens today, Aussie dollar yen, we are not really going anywhere at the moment. It's going to be an update as it stands now, marginally. The CAD yen was looking like a down day. The last hour, they've rallied again. So I don't think that's going to hold, though. That was pretty negative news, that GDP for the CAD. So I think that's probably going to come down. So we have started a little bit of a downward momentum today, which is good. So if we can close with a down day today, that would be lovely. So any close below that level would be fine. But we are now in a 5-day accumulation on the CAD yen. The CAD yen has gone into full pause mode. Swiss yen, we are paused again. That's just rallying at the moment. This looks like yen weakness coming through. It is. So there's a load of yen weakness coming through today. Swiss yen rallying. That's probably euro strength. Yeah, euro's strengthening up as well. Pound yen rallying, so the big weakness on the yen at the moment. So that is pushing up. But we are 5 days sideways on all of these. So the yen is paused at the minute, which is good, because what we don't want them to do is rally too much further. So US dollar yen, which is our one that we looked at this morning. There's the 145 bounce. We got the reverse alert. We looked at this morning. We've had the retest now. So we have got that rollover. We need to break that low. When we break that low and hold below that low, that is going to be a bearish daily candle, which will drive the sellers in, hopefully. So if you look at it on the daily, we're looking for a bear candle, basically, because we get nothing but bullish. We've had nothing but bullish candles for weeks now on this. We did get a bearish candle there, which was an outside bar, but an outside bar is an indecision bar. So if we can just close bearish today, that will be the first proper bearish engulfing. It's still going to be a higher low and a higher high. So it's still bullish price action, but intraday it's bearish price action. So the market hopefully will start to react at that 145. Everybody's watching big round numbers. Everybody's watching that big 145 level. So we could well get the start of that rally back down from there. And if that kicks in, we should see some yen strength starting to flood into the market. But at the moment, they're rallying back up again. They're not interested, are they, at the moment? They're just not interested in this yen. They just want to do nothing but sell it. So we might have to wait for the Japanese to intervene. But you can see from the CAD, they got the message. Yeah, but they haven't got that message yet, have they? So as soon as we get some bearish price action starting, we've got a good chance of a drop. So next week, I think we've got the 4th of July on Tuesday. So holiday in America, that might be the day that they take advantage and actually start to rally this thing. We will see. Okay, we are long NASDAQ. So NASDAQ's got room up to ADR still. The others are still rallying. Look. The S&P's gone. The Dow is totally stuck. Dow is putting in a second inside bar on that 5-minute range. Look. NASDAQ, though, is off. So need to get out of this hedge on the Dow, basically. So if the NASDAQ rallies, that'd be a lovely day today. Anybody got any pairs they want to look at? Let me know. Oil, I was going to cover this afternoon as well. So oil trade's working well. So entered on Wednesday long on the oil inventories news. We had a lovely bull day, ended bullish. Yesterday, I said I will move stop to break even. If we end up with a bullish day, we just about ended up with a bullish day. So can't lose. However, we're struggling at this high at the moment. So yesterday's high and this propulsion gap, we are struggling. So this is these two trend lines that I drew on. I hate trend lines. They offend my eyes having to look at them on my chart. But when you see them, when we see descending highs that clear, the market is paying attention. So wherever you get to, whichever day gets to this area, whether it be today, there, or whether it be sometime next week, likelihood is we are going to get a reaction. We're going to get the seller stepping in on it. So I've got them on there mainly to act as a TP. So ADR basically today, if we were to reach ADR today, I would take the whole thing off. There's a good chance, I think, that we might double top that because we did exceed it and put a new high in. That is now unwound. We've got that double bottom bounce again, which is why we took that trade. That's where I would look. That's the safe exit, I think. We've got to get there yet without stopping out, though. So if it decides to pull back into here before it goes there, I'm out with a break even. But obviously the Canadian dollar, we've just had negative GDP. One of the reasons probably for the negative GDP is oil's coming down. They're not making as much money on their oil exports as they would like, which will obviously affect their GDP. And we know that oil prices are really, really struggling at the moment. So I'm still not convinced this thing's going to get out of that range. So we'll see what happens. But tricky, very, very tricky at the moment with that oil. Dow's coming down again. Divergence on the Dow and the NASDAQ. So Dow's trying to rally short. NASDAQ and the S&P are going long. S&P is now 125 ADR on the day. NASDAQ's just about to hit ADR. If that can get to that TP, there's an argument for closing the whole thing out today. This market is really extended. I'd be very surprised if we can get a rally up that 200 ADR level, which is next resistance. Very little chance, I think, of getting all the way up there today, but we'll see. We are rejecting at the moment. Look. And the Dow's coming down. So no one's got anything else I want to look at. Oh, this is going to be a nice quick session this afternoon. Go off and do something else. Just about to stop out on the long on the Dow. Might not. So this is still inside bar. Yeah, so with 15 minutes, we're inside the opening range. This is kind of what I was not expecting, but anticipating may happen. We've done ADR today. So the market's got no legs. It's just going to do that. It's the end of the month. If they haven't put the moves in by now, they're probably not going to, are they? So I think we're probably done for the day today. But we'll see. We'll give it another 10 minutes or so and see where it gets to, if anywhere. Still rallying on the NAS. So NASDAQ upside target is 150. That is the accumulation break. So looks like we are just going straight through that today. A lot of power in this market today. So let's look at this one here. So on Monday, we got 279. Sorry, Tuesday that is, isn't it? So 280 off of a 218. So 125 ADR-ish. That move there was 150. We can put equivalent day in. Today we'll be up here somewhere. That would be the absolute extreme today. Good opportunity to sell up there if it gets there. If you're not long or obviously already. So Dow didn't stop out. Still inside bar. Tricky. Not sure what to do with that today. Head and shoulders, H4 on the NAS. Don't know. Head and shoulders patterns are the Worst patterns in the world. Inverse head and shoulders. Brian, the MSs is off for a long weekend. MSs? What are they? Oh, the missus. Oh, the missus is off for a long weekend. She just walked into the office, saw you on the big screen, looked at my monitors, saw the charts, and told me I'm nuts. You're nuts. You're nuts. Every job is nuts. There are no sane jobs in this world. Yen weakening again, yeah. Well, it's weakening at the moment, but I think what you'll probably find we end up with today is just an accumulation. It's weakening at the moment in this hour, but just part of movement. What it does goes up and down. So it's going up at the moment, go down in the next hour. Not going anywhere, is it today? I think you've probably had the moves for this month. We might get a rally. You never know. US dollar Swiss ADR. US dollar's still coming down. That euro is pumping at the moment. Well, the Swiss franc is anyway. Was that US dollar dropping? No, just US dollar Swiss. So we got a bit of strength on the US dollar, on the Swiss franc, weakness on the US dollar at the moment. There's that US dollar CAD short I've got on down there. Short was there. So good to target that propulsion gap, looking for that sort of movement. Look at this. Look at this today. So there's your 5-minute ORB on the Dow. You haven't even taken a trade yet on the Dow. Absolute joke today. The NASDAQ can give me another 38 points. I think I will just close the whole lot. Well, I just get out, take the money. I think this market's done today. Danger of just giving it all back. Pound Swiss, still a good sell. I wouldn't really say the pound Swiss is anything at the moment. Not really doing anything, is it? Haven't had a trade on the pound Swiss all month. Haven't got extended at all this month anywhere. Four hour, there was a sell there, but that was in May, end of May. Apart from that, there's no reason to get into this. It's just sideways. 4 hour, lovely entries on the 4 hour. Look. Had a long down there. That would have been a scale in. But yeah, 4 hour, good, but it's sideways. No reason to get into it at the minute. Oh my word, look at this Dow. Make your mind up. If that rallies and this manages to get up to there, I'm shutting the lot. Just go. Be done. Go and do something else. It's Friday afternoon. Just tapped 3R on the EU. Good job, Brian. Yeah, nice break. That was an ADR reversal today, EU. So if you took that one today, that was your reversal alert on the EU off of 100 ADR. We looked at this one this morning, didn't we? Difficult to get into. But if you did get into it, you've absolutely killed it today. Even the hourly's pretty much 1R today. It's nice. Very nice. I'm just thinking out loud. 2 o'clock. You might want to test this, Brian. Test taking a break of the 2 o'clock candle, which is midday on Euro US dollar. If you look at all the moves that have happened here, they've all been around about midday. Might be worth looking at. So depending on what's happened in the morning, take a new bracket before the New York session. They quite often pull back on this at the end of London. And then if New York continues the pullback from London, that's where you get your moves. But obviously this is moving off the news at the moment. Oh, look at this thing. This is going to be painful today, I think. So the NASDAQ's stalling out at ADR. S&P's just put a new high in. And the Dow is attempting a rally on the highs. Anybody that's thinking about trading with deriv.com and synthetic indices, just run a mile. They're all created. Somebody's talking about it in Telegram. They're all created by brokers. It's the same as the binary options scam. Basically, it's if you create a synthetic index, which you control as a broker, you will just continuously make money out. Like these boom and crash indexes and all these VIXs and all this sort of stuff. It's all manufactured and manipulated by brokers. Yeah. So if you give $2,000 to your broker and you trade on an index that it controls, what do you think the outcome is going to be? Same as binary options. It's just people are. They've got the deriv.com have got the biggest, best affiliate program in the world in trading. You can make a fortune as a deriv.com affiliate. Why? Because they give you virtually all of the money that from every client they bring forward because they know they're going to get it all. So just you can only warn people so much about synthetic indices, but trade stuff that moves because of a fundamental reason. Michigan sentiment has just come out at 64 off of a forecast of 63.9 positive US. New Zealand dollar, US dollar has just hit ADR. Whoops. ADR hit there. So let's have a quick look at the US. Market doesn't seem to be very impressed by that positive news on the US dollar. As always, positive news on the US dollar. Go the other way. No real reaction to it. All my charts are frozen up. Sabotage from deriv.com probably. I'm getting somebody called Reddy is now contacting me. Reddy comes from AGAM, a listed fund company in Hong Kong. He is the marketing executive manager. His name is Reddy. He has a project that he wants to place advertisements on our channel. He can help our subscribers make money, and I can also make money and increase my subscriptions. Thank you. Right, I think this is done for the day. Basically, this hedge on the Dow, there's a danger all this is going to do today is just rotate up here and double-ended stop out. The NASDAQ is really struggling to make a new high. The S&P, if this does get a new high, it will probably take the NASDAQ with it a little bit more. So if you've taken the ORB on the NAS and you're in it, I would probably just lock something in on it because the chances are this thing's going to exhaust itself up here at ADR. We're 125 ADR on the S&P. The Dow has got no legs at all. There's no volume at all. So it's just starting to go now. So I think this is really your only hope. If you are hedged on the Dow, obviously you can lock in that profit, but struggling today, innit? The only binary platform I trust is Nadex, based out of Chicago, regulated as well. Not sure if you can trade out of the US. But binary options in itself is a scam. It's not a scam; it's gambling. Basically, it's gambling under the guise of trading, because they give you fixed odds, which is in their favor. So when you win a set amount of money. When you lose a set amount of money. The win versus loss ratio puts the edge in their favor. So if you win and lose 50% of your trades, which you will, well, it doesn't actually work out that way, because you have to decide when the market closes, whether it'll be higher or lower. Basically, you're playing high-low in binary options. That's what it's called, binary options. There's a binary option up there or down there. You can't predict what time the market's going to move. How on earth are you going to predict where the market will be when it closes or when the timer runs out? It's all rigged in their favor. People have winning runs the same way as they do on blackjack, roulette, craps, casino odds. Binary options, it's just, you can't win at it. People can make an awful lot of money as affiliates at it because it looks good. And it looks like it's weighted in your favor because it gives you a higher R than your losses. But it's tiny R. Yeah? You're trying to make money with a return on drawdown, which is just about in your favor if you can gauge the right price at a specific point in time, which you can't do. I'll tell you what, the best way, probably the only way to make money out of binary options is to only take binary option trades at the stock market opens on indices. I think you might have half a chance actually there, because you know damn well it's going to be moving very fast and hard in one direction. The problem is, a lot of the time with binary options, you're trying to take a binary options trade when the market's going sideways, which you're never going to really have a chance of making money out, are you? Sorry, just answering some questions in Telegram. I haven't got a lot else to talk about today. We're sitting here. I'm basically just sitting here willing this to hit TP, because if it does get there, I'm out of everything. But it doesn't seem to be getting there, and I get the feeling I might be sitting here for potentially 2 hours waiting for it to finally get, if it can, to 125 ADR. The way this is going at the moment, it's you can see the volume going in. Look, the candle movement is so infinitesimally small. There's just no volume there. It is bullish, obviously, at the minute, as we can see, but the volume's not there to drive it today. So I'm going to basically, I've got this running. I've got the NASDAQ running and the Dow running, both of them pretty much the same. So I think I'm just going to get out of these two and call it a day. After the DAX this morning, I don't really want to risk giving it all back. So very big day on the DAX today. Amy, probably a 2 inside bar on the M15 on the US 30. Yeah, so 2 inside bars, Euro US dollar 125 ADR. Yeah. So that's what's helping the indices today. We've got a US dollar collapse, so that's kind of helping the indices along a little bit. So yeah, with a 2 inside bar, and a 15-minute. Yeah. Well, that's just an inside bar break. It is a 2 inside bar at the moment. We've got 6 minutes left on this candle. So right now you're on an inside bar break. If this closes where it does, or if it closes below that high and doesn't make any higher than that, that is a 2 inside bar break. So take a break of this candle is probably your tightest, best trade you'll get today on the Dow if it doesn't break it now. But 2 inside bar breaks should ideally be taken in line with trend, because what it is a symmetrical triangle pendant. It's a pennant, basically. A 2 inside bar on a lower time frame will appear as a pennant, which is a bullish or bearish price action pattern. So it's already broken, look. Okay, so Dow's gone along. So I'm going to stop out on the Dow short. Well, might do. S&P's rallying. NASDAQ's stuck. Like pulling teeth in it today. The DAX is also running up to 150 ADR now. Big day for the DAX. Okay, stopped out on shorts, so long onlys now. Four, 5, 6, 7, 850. 850 loss. And bank 1,000. I'm going to give the Dow the benefit of the doubt for a minute. The NASDAQ breaks that low. I would escape. This is running out of steam a little bit. S&P is still rallying. Dow is now rallying. So I think it's fair, if this doesn't break that high on this candle, it's fair to say we've run out of steam on the NASDAQ. So just dump it, get out. Decent profit there. So what's bank today? Thousands. That's 3K. So that's your inside bar break gone on the Dow. But we're at 125 ADR. You know, so hard to buy when you're that extended. This thing's... We can put in 200 ADR days, obviously, but it's tired, isn't it? Very tired. Okay, yen is still pushing a little bit. David, Lee is the very best friend any can he. He's the very best friend that anyone can have. Happy, happy, happy Friday. David, are you drunk? It's a little early in the day. Thank you, anyway. So I'm going to do 200. I'm going to put 200 point trailers on these. 20 point trailers. Okay. Okay. Just to get out, basically, and lock in the profit. And the Dow, I will trail by 250. Okay, so profits locked in. If it's going to rally, I'll let it rally. It's just so exhausted up here. So if it's going to pull back, I'm taking it. Otherwise, just let it rally. I just can't believe it's going to get much further today. It's too tired. I'm surprised, to be honest, it's got as far as it has out the highs today. So, but you never know. Market does what the market does. Might surprise us. David, don't drink, just positive. Good man. Positive mental attitude. Keep it up. Yeah, just let those run, basically, if you're in them. US dollar CAD ADR. US dollar CAD's come to ADR to the downside. So that's on its way to target, which is, for me, that propulsion gap there. And then I've got long positions on this as well. So I'll be looking to add back into the longs if we get back down to there. But there's a break even on this sell. Oh, did I put a trailer on that? But the break even on the sell, basically. So it's either going to get to target, or if it pushes back up from here and we just don't get that deep enough pullback and it rallies again, obviously all the long positions are going to win out anyway. So let's go Dow. We are rallying today. I don't get why it's so strong, but I'll take it if the terminal will load. So 150 ADR now on the S&P. Just shy of. So those Dow longs are going to lock in $500 basically on the Dow longs. And locking in $1,200 on the NASDAQ. To make my day today, if the yen could power up for the last 3 to 4 hours of the day, month, and quarter, that would be absolutely fantastic. Brian, Nadex is set up more like traditional options. Contracts are time-based with a cap at $100 max loss per contract. I don't do options. Binary options is obviously, options is trading is different to binary options. Options contracts obviously expire as well. Options works different to binary options. I'll have a look at them. I've never just not ever got involved in options trading at all. Binary options. Just binary options. All binary options firms are regulated, but it is, at the end of the day, just binary options. You can't win. Long term, you can't win. The edge is in your favor. I don't know. So somehow I've managed to stop out of one buy, but the second one somehow didn't get me out of. But I'll take it. I'll take the runner, basically. I'm just going to take that take profit off because I'm going to take a runner. If this is going to fly up for any reason, I'm going to take the trailing stop on it. I'm not going to take a TP. Almost TP'd on the NASDAQ 2R. We're not going to get, I mean, a 5R on this today is got to be 175 ADR straight up. So highly unlikely that's going to reach that. That's TP about to trigger on the NAS. Thinking about it. There we go. TP. So it's 2,300 locked in, 2,200 locked in, 1,370 floating on trailers. Good day. I'll take that. So I just let those two run on trailers and they'll get what they get. US dollar Swiss 125. This US dollar is coming down hard. This is why the indices are managing to rally, because the US dollar is selling off really hard. What did I say this morning about the end of the month and end of the quarter? This is an end of month sell-off. This could be a 200 ADR day. They do this a lot. We see this often at the end of month and end of quarter. They're just basically getting targets hit. So they are pushing the market to targets. It'll all undo itself next week. And especially with these yens. But the US dollar yen, unfortunately, is the one that the Japanese are watching. That's the one that's coming down. The other yens are obviously having all the money pulled out of the yen to put into the US, to put into the other markets. That's why we're seeing the Swiss franc rallying so hard as well. Money gets pulled out of the US dollar and put into the Swiss as a safe haven. Got to put your money somewhere while you're waiting to make a decision on where you're going to put it next. And it's the Swiss franc. Have to sit and wait on these. Can you show the monthly results of the 4 strategies? I don't know. 9.47% on H1. I don't know what the others are. I'm basically not running them. There's no point because they're over leveraged. So they're just going to blow the accounts, basically, because all you're doing is you're taking constant losses on drawdown control on multiple squeezes at the same time. So they're all hideously over leveraged. So but I don't know. They're probably all, I don't know if they might have even blown. I haven't looked. Just about to stop out on the NASDAQ. Pulling back. So hedging has made a 9% loss. H4M5 27, 9% on H1M5, and 8% on ADRs. As I said, you don't do that because otherwise you're over leveraged, aren't you? So that's why the exposure rule is there. That's what happens. It's good. It shows you what happens. That's why you do not overexpose yourself. If you overexpose yourself, the losses are and this is what I keep saying about all these strategies out there that teach you about compounding. Yeah, this is what happens in compounding. They talk about how you can increase your account exponentially by compounding it. What they don't teach you about is the compounding losses. If you trade every single instrument and every single instrument goes against you in one period of time, those compounded losses will wipe out everything you've ever done. Yeah. It was a difficult month for position traders. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to end up at the moment about 3.5% down, which is meh. But yeah, multiple squeezes this month, which obviously doesn't help. But you get 1 or 2 losses a month, a year. You always get, every single year, there's 1 or 2 lost months. But when you're bagging 10, 15% a month, and then you have a 3, 4, 5% loss month, just the way of the world. New Zealand dollar CAD, 125 ADR. This Canadian dollar is getting hammered. So US and CAD both selling off really hard end of month. US dollar CAD, so US dollar selling off harder than the CAD. But yeah, so yeah, I mean, this shows you, I don't hide anything. This is trading. Yeah, if you go to any signal service, any course, any live room, the way they charge you $200 a month or whatever, and they tell you that they never lose, there's some kind of smoke and mirrors going on, because there isn't a trader on the planet that doesn't lose money. Yeah, this market moves up and down. If you're the wrong side of the market, you will lose money. You can't be on the right side of the market all the time. Not even the banks do it. Yeah, the banks' main strategies is dollar cost averaging. They also get squeezed. However, as I've said, they have the power when they have unfinished business to correct it. We can't. We have to follow their footprint. So we know that that is a target for the banks. So as soon as we've hit the targets that they set earlier, there and there. Yeah. What did I call? I mean, I said it on Monday, didn't I? This week, we're going there, 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 and there. Look at where we are. Yeah. Next week, we're going there. I can't tell you when, but I can tell you we are. But we're going up there first. Yeah. Probably like that. Same with position trading. I can tell you that every single squeeze you're in on the yen at the moment is all going to be corrected within the next 2 weeks. I can't tell you when, but historically, every single time it's happened, it's corrected. So if you over leverage, and again, this is why I teach in the course about exposure, why the dashboard has exposure. If you over leverage on the yen and go 6 long on the yen and it squeezes, you're dead. Yeah. This is why I say don't do it. Simples. Follow the rules. Whoops, wrong one. Stops out on both in profit on the NASDAQ and the Dow. So flat. I think that's probably it for the day. So if you want to take shorts, this is not a bad spot. 125 ADR, 150 ADR, 115 ADR. So obviously we are seeing some signs of weakness starting to creep in now. DAX is rolling over as well. So bearish engulfing, well, actually it's an outside bar. So at the moment, that's indecision. That is just a bear candle. So it's not confirmed yet. That's an outside bar as well. So all outside bars are confusion bars. Doesn't mean it's going long or short. It just means the market couldn't push higher, tried to push lower. So we haven't got a direction yet. Wait for this candle to close. If this closes as an inside bar, you've then got a straddle entry. So it is all starting to slow down though up here. So just be a bit careful. Gavin, you're short Euro Yen? Yeah, Euro Yen's still squeezing. But again, as I said, all these yens are sideways now. So this is day 4 sideways on Euro Yen. That's where we are. So if these are flag breaks, the Japanese will intervene probably next week. And this will all come crashing down very, very, very quickly. Waiting on those. But all the others, you know, like Aussie Yen, Aussie New Zealand, yeah. Weeks, 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks, I was in that. 50% retracement. Always, 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 always get a profit take move on a rally. It does not happen any other way. This is how the market makes its money, yeah? So yes, you're going to have months like this month where you're just going to get squeezed to the point where you take so much loss along the way, it means you can't have a profitable month. But if that happens 2 out of 10, what's your strike rate? 80%. If 80% of the months you can make money, you're profitable. That's it. But the months where you get squeezed on 2 things at the same time, it's never going to happen. You got to take those losses, basically, which is what the scale out's for. Drawdown control. Okay, DAX is starting to roll over at the highs as well. So everything's starting to roll over. So just watch this up here. This might be the peak formation high today. However, what you might find is all we do is that. So up to you if you want to really trade on a Friday afternoon, but might be a bit quiet. They'll probably go down the pub now. I was in US dollar CAD for 3 weeks, but still got a profit. Patience, yeah. I'm still in US dollar CAD. I could have got out there, but I didn't. But that's what I see happening next. How far, though? Don't know. We'll deal with it as it happens. But at the moment, my my average is around about, well, it's 200 ADR from where we are at the moment. We're 125 ADR today. So it's around about 150 ADR away, the average. So I've got a bit of movement to do on that one. Yeah, I did put a trailer on it. This is a trailing stop, which is operating on this US dollar CAD. I thought I did. So I put a 20-point trailer on that. So I will stop out on that short just to bank some money on it. Right, I will leave it there today. Anything you need, let me know in Telegram. I'll be back on Monday, probably not on Tuesday because it's bank holiday in the US. So as it's a bank holiday in the US markets, probably take the day off. do other stuff because it's usually very, very quiet. But obviously, bear in mind, if that yen does continue to rally across the board, apart from the US dollar, obviously, we're going to find that they're going to want to make a move. And bank holidays in the US are a good day for the yen to start rallying. So we may well get that move starting early next week. We'll see. But yeah, that's it for the day. So good day overall. I just put a buy limit in there by accident. Let me just delete that. Good. So yeah, good day today on the indices, 3.5K. So everything just basically played out nicely today, didn't it? Nice big rally days. So those are the days you bank your bunts, and obviously the days you don't, you have to sit there and get through it. All right, have a good weekend. I'll be back on Monday, 7:50, same time for the morning session for Frankfurt, and 2:20 for US as usual. Yeah, hopefully have a good weekend, and I will see you then. Have a good one.